everybody says they go out there and they're not scared, they're full of it. That's what brings you back, keeps you safe, that little bit of fear. When you watch on TV documentaries about what we do out here in the surf, it doesn't give you the overall fear. When you're sitting on this boat and you see the green water, you see it starting to crest, it sounds like a freight train. And you're hoping that you put your boat in the right position, hoping that you don't get set back when you roll with the wave. It's not like in a car, you just pull over and stop, and everything will stop moving. Out here, it's unforgiving.
Search and rescue is definitely one of the most rewarding aspects of being a Coast Guard pilot for me, and it was definitely a large factor in my determination to try to become a pilot. It's one of the missions where you can see immediate results, and there's... Oh, sorry, gotta go.
The interview is interrupted by the search and rescue alarm. A windsurfer is reported missing off the mouth of the Columbia River. Further mission details are vague.
A lot of times you do go out on cases and you search for countless hours, and you have a combination of possibly poor information from the ground party reporting the possible incident. The information we got was that it was a potential surfer in distress.
Searching for the reported victim in such a large area is monotonous for the flight crew of 4.
The mouth of the Columbia River is considered the graveyard of the Pacific. Over 2,000 boats have gone down here. The ship that was sent to build the lighthouse even sank here. We have larger surf here because you have roughly 5,000 miles of ocean out there in the Pacific.
You do the best you can, and you sit and you wonder if we're in the right spot or we're not.
Suddenly, one of the crew happens to glimpse the victim drifting on the windswept ocean. 10 seconds earlier or later, and this speck of humanity would have floated unnoticed to a cold and lonely death.
We were actually running along the coast, checking along the coast, and I just happened to turn my head to talk to Skip. And when I looked up, I saw something in the surf.
He was near the mouth of the river, so he had the forces of the river pulling him, but also the surf from the ocean.
The swells were 15 foot, and they're occasionally breaking and tumbling me, and I was in pretty deep trouble. If someone wouldn't have came out there, I'd be dead for sure.
He was fully conscious, though he thought he might have been going out of consciousness within the next half hour or an hour or so. He was kind of losing hope a little bit. Definitely brought up his spirits when he saw the helicopter hovering over him.
With the winds increasing, Dave enters the water by free-falling from a 15-foot hover.
You can see the waves coming, so it's the quickest way to get him to a guy who could have been hypothermic or in trouble. It's probably the heaviest seas I've ever been in. Once it comes time to do your job, it's instinctive. You don't have to think about it, you just do it.
A rescue swimmer reaches the exhausted windsurfer. Immediately, the surfboard is abandoned, the victim maneuvered toward the basket for the hoist back to the helicopter. A tense situation, but in a matter of minutes, both crew and victim alike are grateful for their good fortune.
I was definitely in shock. It took me a good hour and a half to warm up. Dave did great. I owe him my life.
This search and rescue is typical of the U.S. Coast Guard and underlines the growing debate inside a community torn between legacy missions and an aggressive military and law enforcement capability.